Hello everyone, I just thought I would come on and share these dies that I bought from AliExpress. I've looked around on YouTube and not been able to find any videos on how to use them. So I've had a fiddle with it and a play, and I thought I would come on and show you how you can use them to make beautiful stars. On the page that I bought them from, there were beautiful 3D stars. But in the comments section on the site, people were saying, oh, I don't know how to use the dies. And anyway, I just thought, well, I'll buy them and have a go. Mine came in a set of 2, but there are lots of different ones. And the thing I would say to you most, although I'll show you essentially how to make your star, you'll need to experiment with each of your dies to see how many of the segments you'll need to put together. This one, I have experimented and found that it needs 6 of them to make a star. This one I've experimented and it needs 8. Okay, so you just need to make a few, put them together and see what it does for you. Alright, so what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut 6 of these in green. Christmas paper I've chosen, so it's green with holly on the back. And I've gone ahead and cut 8 of these, which are purple and with snowflakes on the back. All right, but essentially it's the same technique for both of these, but as I said, you need to experiment yourself. If you've got different dies, you'll need to experiment yourself to make sure that you do the right number for your star. And I think that'll just have to be trial and error, or if you looked at the page where you bought your dies from, if they had got an example, you'd be able to see. So what should we start with? Let's start with the one that I cut 8 for, which is this one here, because it is slightly simpler. As you can see, there are just sort of 2 large triangles and sort of 3-ish smaller ones, whereas this one's got other peaks. Not difficult, doesn't change it very much, but I think it'll be easier to see for the first one where we're headed. So I've cut out 8 of these, and they cut out the shape and perforate where you need to fold. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the 2 tall peaks and fold them inwards like that, and give yourself a nice crisp point there and again here. Okay, and now I'm going to use the middle section and fold everything, tuck it all behind there. So I'm taking this peak, the tall peak that I have just folded, and I'm moving it behind like that. I'm doing the same with this one that we've just folded. I'm moving it behind like that. And on the back, it looks like this at the moment, because that's all I've done is folded them in. And then back to the front. All I'm going to do now is tuck these 2 pieces behind. So I'm going to fold this one along its perforation behind, and this one behind its perforation behind like that. And then if we look at the back, this is what it looks like. And you can fold those in. Now, I am going to add some glue to this flappy bit here that I've just folded over, and just down the edge of it, down here, and glue those 2 pieces together so that we've got a kind of house shape on the front and a house shape on the back. I don't know if you need to glue them, but I think it gives it a little bit more structure, especially when you're gluing the whole thing together. Now the bottom piece just folds over, and again you just glue it. So we'll just add a little glue to the bottom flap and fold that over, give it a pinch. You can clamp it with a bulldog clip or something. I don't really think you need to. I guess it depends on the glue that you're using. I'm using Yoo-hoo glue, and I'm just going to put that down to one side, and I'll do another one of these for you. Okay, so again, we're starting with the front, looking at the 2 peaks, the taller peaks I should say, and I'm folding them like that. and again like that. Okay, I think that's a valley fold. Now I'm going to tuck them behind the centerpiece here, which is sort of like, without the bottom flap, it's like a house shape. So I'm going to tuck them behind there because that's where it's perforated, and again with that one. And then I'm going to tuck these flaps behind on top of it like that. And I'll turn the whole thing over, put a little bit of glue down this inside edge here, so that I'm making another of those house shapes. I don't know how best to describe that. And then the bottom end folds over, whoops, and we glue that into place. Pinch it down, clamp it, whatever you want to do with it. But that is the second of my 8 pieces. Right, I'm going to go ahead and do the other 6 and I'll be back. Right, these are all glued. This is what they look like. And the next stage is very simple. We're just going to look at the house shape. I'm going to use the one on the back that's got the flap on it, the bottom flap. And I'm just going to glue the whole of that shape. And I'm going to take the next one of these and I'm going to glue that one on top. And I'm keeping them all the same way with the bottom flap at the top and just lining them up as I go. Hope you can see what I'm doing there. So let's do the next one. Glue all over this flap. Take the next one. I'm keeping the bottom flap upwards and I'm just gluing like the top flap to the bottom flap each time and lining them up so that it's nice and square. And you just keep doing that until you've got all of them, all 8 of them together. And then what I would do is perhaps clamp them with something and let them dry. You can carry a straight on, but I think you'll get better results if you just clamp them together. Let them dry for a bit, just 10 minutes or so. And then that's what I will do, and then I will come back. I'll just show you what I'm doing. I'm just sticking each of these on top of each other, making a little sandwich, making sure that they're all aligned. So it's glue on the back, and you stick the front flap to the back of the other one. Line them up. And just keep going until you've put all 8 for this one. Obviously, if you've got one that is 6 points, then you just do the 6. But that will go on there like that. Try and keep them all lined up. And there we go. So that's the last one. That's 8 of them. Just make sure I've lined those all up neatly. And I'm going to, sorry if the camera wobbles, I've got a bulldog clip stuck on the frame. I'm just going to put them together, I think, like that, and just leave them as a sandwich to dry for a bit, and then I will be back. Now before we go on, I thought I would just show you how to fold the other die cuts from the 6-point star. This is what they look like. Now again, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to look for the 2 tallest points and fold them in. I think that's a valley fold, and make sure the point is nice and sharp at the end. So that's that one, and then the same on the other side, just folding them in half. Now this time we haven't really got house shape, we've got another point and 2 little points, and I don't know if you can see, but the perforation is right through the centre of that tiny point there. So we're just going to fold it back on itself, just like we did with the other one, but it's just a slightly different shape. So fold them back on themselves like that, and then this one will fold back, and so will this. I'm just making sure that the points are all neat. A little bit of glue on this back edge here, down here, and line it up, and then glue on the bottom tab, like that. Whoops. And we'll do one more, the last one. And so we've got, looking at the two largest points there, folding it in half where the perforation is, but just making sure that we've got a nice crisp point there, and on this side as well. Here we go. And then we're folding it down the tiny points where the perforation is, back on itself, just making sure it all lines up, and then we're folding back again, tucking everything behind, and just making sure we've got nice crisp folds. And on the back I will add some glue to this edge, and glue that down, and fold over the bottom flap and glue that down. Alright, and what I will do is, while we're here, I will glue them together and then come back when both sets are dry. Okay, so glue on this surface that we've just looked at with the flap here that's sticking up. I'm taking the next one, I'm putting the top surface of that one down so that we've got, always looking with the flap going up, lining it all up like that, and then glue on this surface. And it's exactly the same principle as the last one we just did, same sort of thing, just gluing the flaps together. And I'm keeping the top flap, the bottom flaps I should say, I'm keeping them upright. Actually that one doesn't have a lot of glue, so I'll just give it a bit more while we're here. There we go. And I'm doing exactly the same as I did before, just gluing the whole surface. And I will do that, I shall continue doing that till I've glued all 6 together, and then I shall put a bulldog clip on those to hold them and let them dry, and then once they're dry I'll be back. Right, these ones have been drying for a little while, and you can probably guess what we're going to do next, but the first thing I'm going to do is put some glue on this house shape like we were doing. Cover that in glue. And then we're going to open this out, and we're going to keep going, and just make sure they all want to come open. Yep. And we just keep going. We're going to glue those two sides together. If you can see what I'm doing, so I'm going to push them together, and I'll try and pinch them together at the top and the sides, and you could probably clamp them if you wanted to, but you just need to hold those together so that they glue nicely. I'll hold it for a second. But essentially that is your star. So you've got each of these points here, and I'm just going to pinch those together. I can't remember where was it. I've just glued. It could be there. I don't remember. Anyway, but that's the star there. And then we could decorate the top, which we'll do in a minute. Right, let's have a quick look at this one as well. This is the 6-pointed one. Same sort of thing. Glue on this pointy flap bit at the back. So I'm going to put glue all over that. And then we're going to open it out like this. Keep going until some of the bits, I've got a bit of glue on some, I think, maybe. Is that what that? Or they're just a bit stiff, that's all. Just keep going. And you want to bring the two pieces together like this. So I'm just pinching them together because you want those two bits to glue. And I mean, you could hold them for a few minutes. Like that. But that is my 6-point star. And you can leave them like that. You could put string through them, hang them if you wanted to have them as hanging ornaments. But I have got some flowers that I have taken. I think if I put that on there we won't see it, so I shall use the white with the holly in it, and I'm just going to give it a bit of dimension. I might as well do them all while I'm here. So I should probably just put one of these in the centre and then pop a gem in the middle for now, but you could do what you like with them, or just leave them as they are. You know, there's nothing wrong with them as they are at all, but I just thought it would be just sort of finish them off a little bit with something in the centre. So let's pop that one on there and one on here. Like that. And I've got a couple of gems, so let's put some glue in both of those because I don't think the gems will stick very well. I'll have a purpley one in there. Hopefully that's in the centre. I can't see very well, but you'll all have a bird's eye view. Let's have a look. Not really very central, is it? Like that. And ideally I'd wait for that to dry, but I'm going to do the same on the back. I thought these would look very nice for Christmas. You could hang them from your tree, you could give them away, you could make a mobile from them. And they don't take very long to do at all. It's just I found, having bought the dies, I didn't know what to do with them, and a video would have been helpful. So maybe this might help a few people who've either bought the dies and don't know what to do with them, or were perhaps thinking of buying the dies but don't know, we're a bit unsure about what you do. There we go. Let's just move that out of the way. So, 2 star ornaments, 3D star ornaments. I would say they are probably about 1 inch wide. So, yeah, if you like something with a bit of dimension, have a go. And these are the dies. As I say, there's plenty of them on AliExpress, different types of ones, and you can probably get them elsewhere. I don't know. I just happened to be looking and saw them. So, have a go, folks. Happy crafting. And I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.